Hi everyone, this is Bina with TCM Review Seminars. Today we're here to present on the Korean 4-needle technique. This is a quick and easy way to find the point prescriptions associated with this technique. I've seen students that come at this in different ways. Sometimes they will try to actually memorize all the 24 point prescriptions associated with this technique, which if you were having a big test just on Korean 4-needle technique might be the way to go, or if you were using this in clinic might be a way to go. But if you're just needing to understand this technique so you can pass your board exams, then that might not be the most effective way to learn this system. So we're here to help you study smarter, not harder, and make the amount of information you need to memorize a lot less. So let's get started. We're going to go through the essentials of what you absolutely need to know to understand this technique. First of all, the system's based on the 5-element chart. And so the first thing you'll want to do is memorize the 5-element chart as it's laid out in the big picture. And that is probably the easiest way to do this. If you can memorize that chart verbatim, it'll come up and be useful for other things on your comps or your board exams. You can use it for point location, and so it's not a complete waste of time to actually memorize that element chart. So once you have that memorized, the next thing you want to do is find the Harari point. We're going to go into what a Harari point is later on in this presentation. So for right now, just remember you want to find the Harari point. That's your first step. After that, you'll want to find the grandmother, mother, and son points. Their location of the grandmother, mother, and son points is dependent on the Harari point, so it's important that you're able to find that first. After that, you want to memorize the treatment principles. So unlike a Zongfu pattern diagnosis system or 5-element diagnosis system, this Korean 4-needle technique is actually pretty simple. There's only 2 treatment principles, because either you're sedating excess or you're tonifying deficiency, and that's it, okay? And then last of all, remember there are 4 points. I've taught this for a number of years now, and what I realize is that the first 2 points pretty much everyone can get, and it's the second 2 points that everyone is really confused with. So if you remember, there's 4 points, and we'll show you an easy way to remember those second points, okay? So here's the 5-element chart. This is how most of you see it if you're using some form of the big picture. But for the purposes of this tutorial, I changed it to look like this. So the first thing you notice is that the pericardium channel is missing from here, and that's just to make it very easy to understand and clear. And the other thing you'll notice is that all the points are color-coded by what element they represent or which element category they fall under. So the wood points are all green, the fire points are all red, the earth points are orange, the metal points are white, and the water points are black. This is going to make it very, very easy for you to grasp this concept quickly. All right, next we're going to go through the terminology. The Harari point is first. This is the position on the chart where the element of the point and the element of the channel match. Okay, so for example, if you have the kidney channel is kidneys fall under the category of water, so that it is a water channel, and so we're looking for the water point on the water channel. That is called the Harari point. If you're using the fire channel, then it's the fire point on the fire channel. If you're using the metal channel, it's the metal point on the metal channel, and so on. The next term that we're looking at is the mother point. The mother point is the position on the chart that is one position to the left of the Harari point. Okay, so it's the position on the chart that's one position to the left of the Harari point. The grandmother point is actually 2 positions to the left of the Harari point, and then the sun position is 1 position to the right of the Harari point. So it's very important that you can quickly identify Harari points on the chart. Okay. Again, if you didn't quite understand mother, grandmother, and sun, don't worry about it too much. We're going to work with visuals later on in the presentation so that it's all clear. All right, so the first thing we need to do is find the Harari point. Okay, here's our 5-element chart. Remember the definition for the Harari point? It's the position on the chart where the element of the channel and the element of the point are the same or match, right? So in the case for kidneys, again, it's a water channel. We want the water point. The water point is 10. Next, we have the lungs. The lungs are a metal channel, so we're looking for the metal point on the metal channel, which is lung 8. For the spleen, the spleen is an earth channel, and we are looking for the earth point on the earth channel, and that is the Harari for the spleen. For the heart channel is a fire channel, so we're looking for the fire point on the fire channel, which is heart 8. And last of all, we're dealing with the liver channel, which is a wood channel, so we're looking for the wood point on the wood channel. Heart is liver 1. So these points in this particular system have no other meaning except the Harari. This is very basic, right? This is just for your board exams. This is the absolute essential of what you need to understand. It is a much more complicated technique, but it is watered down for your exams, okay? So based on what you need to know for your exams, the Harari points are just a starting off point, okay? They're a starting off point, so you can locate the other points needed to treat any pathology, okay? So next we're going to find the positions. You have the grandmother, the mother, and the son. These positions evolved from the 5-element chart. So first you have the generating cycle. So if you see the generating cycle is represented with the black arrows, you start with wood. Wood generates fire. Fire generates earth. Earth generates metal. Metal generates water, and water generates wood. Okay. If you reverse that, then you find the suns. So wood is the son of water. Water is the son of metal. Metal is the son of earth. Earth is the son of fire. And fire is the son of wood. All right, so we've got the sun points or positions, and we've got the mother positions. And now we want to look for grandmother, right? Grandmother is you find her by using the white arrows or the outlined arrows, which represent the controlling cycle or overcoming cycle. Okay, so water controls fire, so water is the grandmother of fire, and fire is the grandmother of metal, and metal is the grandmother of wood, and wood is the grandmother of earth, and earth is the grandmother of water. Okay, so you can definitely use this relationship or this diagram to come up with the Korean 4-needle technique. It's not the fastest way. So let's see if we can take this circular model and make it linear, right? So to make it linear, first thing we want to look at is the Harari point. So let's say the Harari point represents you, okay? If you go 1 position to the left, you have the mother point always. So when you find the Harari point on the chart, 1 position to the left is the mother. Okay. If you think about this relationship of the grandmother, mother, and son to the Harari point, you can think about it as genealogy or generational. Your mother is always 1 generation behind you. So if you're putting it on a timeline, then she's again 1 position behind you. Okay. With the grandmother, your grandmother is always 2 generations behind you, or if you're thinking about a Harari, the grandmother point is 2 positions behind you, right? And then for the son The sun is the generation that springs from you, and so that position is one position to the right, or one position in front of the Harari point. Okay, so those are our positions. So now we're going to find them on the chart. All right, so if you have the kidney channel, and you know the kidney channel Harari point is kidney 10, then kidney 7 is the mother. If you look at the lung channel, it is a metal channel, and the Harari point is lung 8, and the mother point is lung 9. For the spleen, spleen 3 is the Harari, making spleen 2 the mother. Heart 8 is the Harari for the fire channel, making heart 9 the mother point. And then we have the liver, and with the liver we have a special case because we can't go any further to the left on this chart. So remember that wood is the son of water, right? Because it's circular. So we're just going to swing back to the water, and liver 8 is the mother of liver 1. Okay, next we're going to find the grandmother point. Kidney 3 is the grandmother point on the kidney channel. It's 2 positions to the right of kidney 10. Lung 10 is the grandmother point on the lung channel. It is 2 positions to the right of lung 8, which is the Harari point. Spleen 1 is the grandmother point on the spleen channel. Spleen 3 is the Harari point, and this point is 2 positions to the left. Heart 8 is the Harari, and we're falling into the same issue that we saw with liver. We're all the way flesh left. There's nowhere else to go, so we're going to swing over to the water column, and heart 3 is the grandmother on the heart channel. And then last of all, we have liver 1, which is the Harari, making liver 4 the grandmother point. Okay? So now we're going to find the position of the sun. The sun, remember, is one position to the right of the Harari point. In the case of the kidney channel, that's going to make it kidney 1, because we're going to swing back from water back to wood. Okay? With the lungs, lung 8 is the metal point, making lung 5 the sun. Spleen 3 is the earth point, making spleen 5 the sun. Heart 8 is the fire point, making heart 7 the sun. Heart 8 is the Harari point, making heart 7 the sun. And then liver 1 is the Harari point, making liver 2 the sun. And liver 2 is 1 position to the right of the Harari point. Okay, so these are all the points that we're going to use in the Korean 4-needle technique. All the other points that are not on the page are not part of this system. Okay. So now let's have a look at the treatment principles. So again, there are only 2 treatment principles. You have excess and you have deficiency. So with excess, you want to sedate the sun.